YouTubers, fellow reefers, what's up? Here in the frag box. Okay, I want to talk to you quick, give you a review. First, I guess, initial impressions on the Radion. These are the G5, Radion G5 lights. I think some of the best of the best. Ecotech, they make some of the best products on the market. American company. Radions have been around, they're on G5, so I don't know how many years now. I started with the first ones, tried the second, I skipped the third ones. We're using the Gen 4 on our coral beds in the store, so these have been running here for, I don't know, 3-4 years. And I thought it couldn't get any better. You know, I thought when the G5 came out, I didn't understand why someone would want a G5 over a G4. You got to run these things. They've actually done an amazing job. So I'll just give you some quick first impressions, because we've only had this one set up maybe a week. This one's been running here 3, 4, maybe 5 months on this tank. And I can tell you that everything that we put from our regular coral beds under, these are the G4 Pros, under this is the 15, XR15 blue. I mean zoanthids, acans, acro, we don't put too much acro in here, hold on, I won't say acro. But Montes, everything we put in here just looks better. The corals look healthier, the colors are more vibrant, everything does better under this light. And I'm not 100% sure how Ecotech did it, but it is a major improvement over the G4. I think the first, or the thing I noticed the most is the spread. So it's just, it illuminates the tank perfectly. So this is a Red Sea Reefer 250. I think it's 30 inches across, 36. 36? Red Sea Reefer 250. Two of these things covers the tank perfectly. We were thinking maybe to use one XR30, but I can tell you the two XR15s, the spread is phenomenal. These guys have done an awesome job. The colors blend together perfectly. You can't see, on some of the other models and some other brands, you can actually see what they call it, like the disco effect. You can see the different colors, the red, the green, the UV, the blue. Well, you can't see the UV, but I mean the other ones, you can actually see them on the rock and on the corals. These guys, the way they've blended the colors, the spectrum is just awesome. It looks very natural. So it's the XR15 blues, they're a little on the bluer end, but it's very aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Like the way the tank looks in person, I don't know if the camera is picking up how nice it is. The spectrum is just perfect. We're running the LPS mode. The power is very consistent. So we have a par meter here in the store, and we've tested this tank. I think is 22 inches deep. The par is 150-ish, but I mean the distribution is so even, it's insane. From the sand bed to the middle, off to the left. I don't know how these guys have done it, but the par distribution on the light is very, very even. So that's really good. You don't get so many dramatic high and low spots with the light. And the corals are obviously loving it. Everything looks phenomenal. It's too early to comment on the growth. It's December of 2020. We've had the things running on this tank for about a week, and I can't really comment on the growth on this smaller tank we're running it, because this is we're running it on our what we call our sold tank in the store. So if you buy corals online that you want to come pick up or that we're going to ship out to you, we ship corals right across the country. They go into this smaller tank here, so they're not here long enough for me to see them grow. I know that I can tell you that the color looks better. They'll sit here for a couple weeks, but I don't have enough experience with the lights to comment on the growth. But I've used the G4s in the past. I've used all of them. So the Ecotech, the lights grow corals. So I just can't comment on the growth of the G5s yet. I'll talk about the price too. Up here in Canada, they retail for $600 each. So they're not cheap, but you're getting the best of the best. So, you know, when you're buying lights for your aquarium, when you're buying hardware, I always say lights is the one place. If you're going to spend the money anywhere, spend it on the lights. If you splurge on the lights, you get something a little bit better. You're going to have a nicer tank. You know, if you're on a budget or you're trying to save, you know, the hobby is not cheap. This is an expensive hobby. So if you want to try and save money, I would do it maybe on the pumps. You know, the Vortex are awesome pumps. They're $400 each. If you go with another brand of pump, all the pumps at the end of the day are going to move water. And skimmers, you know, we usually recommend these Bubble Magus skimmers. They're really good skimmers for the price. And if you look at all the skimmers on the market today, they're roughly the same shape. They all make bubbles. At the end of the day, all the skimmers make bubbles. They all perform. So if you go with something like this, or you go with, you know, a $2,000 high-end skimmer, they're both going to make bubbles. So things like that you can kind of save money on. The one place I always say, you're going to spend it on the lights. So they're not cheap. I think the lights with the mounting arms, with your Justin Trudeau 13% tax on top of that, this will run you around $1,500, $1,600. So it's not cheap, but you're gonna love them. You don't buy the Radions and then think, oh, I should have got another light. It's a regret-free purchase, other than maybe your bank account statement or an unhappy wife or husband or partner. That's the only downside. But you don't buy the Radions and say, crap, I should have got Kessel. Or, you know, the only other one I think that's even close to comparison in terms of all the things we're talking about are the Hydras. That's what I'm running here on the on our display tank. So these lights, the Hydra, these are the newer ones, the Hydra 32s. I really like these lights. Very impressed with them. I would say these two are on par. These use their app, and the new Ecotech, the G5s, use their new Mobius app, which is really nice because you don't need to go out and buy Reeflink, which is what you needed with the older Radion models, and that thing was a nightmare. I really like Ecotech. I love their products. Their Reeflink was garbage. That thing would never connect. I think I smashed one against the wall. I didn't know I had anger issues until I decided to try and use a Reeflink. So we're using the G-Force here on ours. We're running them off the Neptune, and we use this little box called WXM. So basically it allows us to control our Radions through our Neptune Apex. But with the new G5s, you can't, they're not Apex compatible. So you have to use their app, which is perfectly fine because they've done a really good job. Guys, do we like the app? What's the consensus here in the store? Everyone, thumbs up? We like Mobius? Okay. So we like selling stuff here in the store that we try, that we use, that we have experience. We like to recommend stuff that that we stand behind. So the app is good. It connects fairly easily. The update took a little bit of time. It doesn't connect as well, in my opinion, as the Hydra app. Actually, what a lot of people don't know, Ecotech, or maybe you do know, I don't know. Anyways, Ecotech and Aqua Illumination have merged a number of years ago and are essentially the same company. So if you go with these or you go with the Hydras, both awesome lights, on par. I think I'm slightly leaning more towards the G5s now that I see them. The major difference I would see between these and the other ones are the price. I think it's $100 extra a light, but when you're already spending this kind of money, it's not a major difference. I think they might have slightly more power. But these ones are the XR15 Blues. I don't have any experience yet with the Pros. I'd like to find an excuse to set one up here in the store, but every tank has a light. I'm not sure, I guess we'd have to set up another tank or something. Or maybe swap out the one on this tank, see what a Pro looks like. This is a SPS dominated tank running the Hydra 32, so that might be an appropriate tank to try something else on, but it's doing good. So, you know, something's doing good. Don't fix what isn't broken. Anyways, that's my first impressions. Quick video review. This video is getting close to 9 minutes. Anyways, if you got any questions, as always, I'll leave our info at the end, our phone number, give us a call, email, website. Initial impressions, XR15, very impressed, well worth the money, awesome light. 15's a lot of power. That's the last thing I'm going to say. You may not necessarily need two 30s. The only time I would see going with that extra power is if you like SPS corals or hard corals and you know you're going to crank them. We should probably put some acro in here or some SPS just to see how they perform. But anyways, I'm getting off track and the video should be over already. Thanks for watching, guys.